Okay, we're gonna try this again. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry, Carol. You are a trooper, man. You are right there with me. I did see your comments, but it was like too late. So I'm really trying to get this going. I don't know if I'm going to be able to chat with you live. I'm going to try this one more time, and let me click on that. And I am typing in from another account. It says it's waiting for me. I don't know what. Let's see here. See if I can go into my account and see if that'll work. My normal account, and see if I can, don't kick myself out or stop this. Hey! Typing in from another account. I better turn it off. Okay, I am in. I hope you guys are there. Carol, it is going. I'm going to put a little, wait a while you guys do a little intro. All right, so we are up and running. I think I've got this down. Yeah, I'm learning. So if you guys could say something, give me a little. Oh, I got one person listening. All right, we've got one person in here. It's working. I see you. So I think we're good. I think we're good. Other than my dogs just running around here causing a muck. Hopefully they don't knock down my my lighting here. But anyways, I'm just gonna take a little bit of time, see if anybody wants to pop in. They're probably tired of popping in and things not working, so we will get on this here pretty soon. I'm so excited. Okay, so this is working. I see one person. That's good. Let me see. Let's see if we can get somebody else on here. Da-da-da. Typing to my mom. You know she'll chime in. So I know you guys. Okay, I see you, Tiny. Thank you so much, Tiny. I love you. So anyways, so just with the little segment that I put out there, I've already gotten some response, and oh my gosh, thank you guys for that. I really appreciate that. I'm not sure if I want to go into what I've already done tonight, because you guys have already seen it. So I will save you guys and then just keep the other video on there. But one of the things that I was asked, or was they wanted to hear about, is to dive in a little bit deeper about what's going on as far as this Arch of Baal, or the Arch of Palmyra. And this arch was originally built in Syria. It comes from the tribe of Canaan. There's another tribe in Israel that these people, when they walked away from God, they worship these false gods, and the people who erected these temples and these monuments and these false idols then began to practice these sacrifices of children. And it was really strange that this idol was a idol of fertility, but yet they would have to sacrifice their firstborn. And going back to this idol, they would place it or they would place their child, and the child would be sacrificed, burnt alive. This type of worship, this type of practice was just incredibly barbaric, incredibly cruel. And it's just strange that this would be put in front of our Capitol during Roe versus Wade. And the protesters were mainly concerned about the right to abortion, which is now the current sacrifice. We're still continuing to sacrifice our children in a cruel, barbaric way. And as far as abortion is concerned, there's early term abortion, there's, late term abortion. And in some states, late term abortion is still practiced. And when they do those late term abortion, the baby is actually born, except for the head. And before the head comes out, because it's technically at this point, the body is out of the mother and the child is still in, what they'll go in behind the neck and take scissors and just plunge them in the back of the neck and cut the spinal cord. There was a particular doctor, I forgot, but anyways, he was actually in prison because he was very, quote unquote, careless of his practice. And he would actually, when he would pull the child out, he would yank the child out too hard and the head would come out, and then he would continue killing the child. They did later imprison him, and he is now facing federal charges for murder. But what makes it murder when it's on one side of the vagina versus the other side of the vagina? Is the birthing canal the magic factor in deciding whether a person is valid or not? As a nurse, I've worked in hospice, and I've had to basically call death sometimes. And when we called death, there was a protocol that we had to go along with. And one of the protocols, there was no heartbeat, and there had to be no heartbeat for 1 hour. For 1 minute. And when that happened, we could legally pronounce the person deceased. And, when these abortions are performed, the heart is beating. The heart... So that's ruling as far as when abortion is valid. If you want to take that into consideration, then that's, that's the part of life. And the majority of abortions are happening between 8 to 12 weeks. The heart is beating. The heartbeat starts at 6 weeks. But as we all know, and as we all search in the Bible, and what the Bible tells us, that actually life starts at conception, not at the heartbeat. The only thing that the heartbeat can record is death. And that is something sacred, something special. And these women who are protesting Kavanaugh are worried about their rights to be able to abort their own children. We heard Kamala Harris, and as you guys know, I believe she's a total bully. She would go into these, she blatantly would say how she would, she bragged about her abortion and how it, advanced her career, that's a sign of weakness. That's not a sign of strength. That's not something that we should be proud of. And then, some of you know, I got in a fight with Chelsea Clinton, because Clinton is on a campaign with Planned Parenthood right now. And Chelsea Clinton said in one of her campaign speeches for Planned Parenthood that abortion is it's not a disconnect since 1973 when abortion became legal, that women contributed $3.5 trillion to the economy. And there was a tweet kind of saying that's a little absurd, and this tweet was by somebody who only had a few followers, and he was bombarded with this hate, this animosity towards him for having a different view and for basically calling her out. So I retweeted his tweet, and I basically to say that abortion adds to our economy is, cruel and evil. The exact words was pure evil, and I guess she didn't like that. So Chelsea Clinton tried to call me out on that, and then she doubled down on her lie. She posted this article that had nothing to do with what she said, and she doesn't take into account to the children, to the people that we've lost since 1973, and that's another whole subject. But anyways, but that's, it was very interesting to know that why people are afraid of Kavanaugh and him being able to reverse the Roe versus Wade, that this Ark of Baal was placed in front of our country's capital. This Baal was also a god of crops. You sacrificed to him for fertility, for crops, for economic gain. And this arch has been traveling. It was in front of the World Trade Center. It's been in front of our federal bank. It's been in Dubai. It's been in other countries. And it's what we need to be aware of is this satanic connection to this arch and who is approving this. And I was reading an article, and Jan Merkel, I love her. I listen to her quite a bit. I totally recommend her. And this is what she said about this. Why is any country, let alone America, let alone our nation's capital, celebrating the Temple of Baal? It was the same week that Kavanaugh's situation was exploding. And in my frank opinion, is that the whole Kavanaugh debacle is about child sacrifice as well. The whole issue at stake in the Kavanaugh contention is that the left is afraid that their child sacrifice sacrament is going to be taken away, which would be abortion. And it was child sacrifice in the temple about millennia ago. So there is an eerie parallel here. And, she confirms what I'm thinking and what a lot of people are thinking. It was really funny. I included my mom in what I was going to present today. And she's all, did you listen to J.D. Farag's lecture on Sunday, or his sermon on Sunday? So no, and he actually preached about it too. So I will put he's also on YouTube, so I will actually put a link to what he has to say, because he goes further in discussion and he dives deeper into the Bible. And the other thing about Baal and the Ark of Baal is that Baal was one of the most spoken about false gods in the Bible. If you do a search, you can do a Google search. There is many, many, many scriptures that talks about Baal and the sacrifice, and the sacrifices are given, and the worshiping of this false idol, and people were under judgment because of it. They turned their back on God and totally just went in a barbaric, nasty way in order to gain financial, to gain finances. And the thing that we need to find the connection is, as this tour is going on, is that, you know, we look at these people in Hollywood and in LA and how they promote themselves and how, you know, this financial gain, and they, you know, they are using their influence to influence us, to influence our children. And a little by little, we're becoming desensitized by it. You know, this tour that they're doing with Baal is, you know, people are understanding what this connection is. And the connection is that, you know, they think of it as just a piece of art, it's a piece of history. But it's so much more than that. It's so much deeper than that. This is a demonic part of worship. And this demonic symbolism is placed in our nation's capital. That's got to hit home, guys. That's really got to hit home. That's got to say a lot. And I, like I said, I had a lot more planned out for you guys today, but, you know, I had some senators that were celebrating this, that they you know what, actually, it's right here. Let me look here real quick. See, there was some of the senators here were, let's see. Chairman Ed Royce, he's a Republican from California, along with the ranking member Eliot Engel, who's a Democrat from New York, promoted the expedition and the Reconstruction Monument as a protection of, get this, global heritage. Now, as you know, we're fighting globalism right now, and globalism stems from satanic beings trying to have us succumb to this demonic way, and it's getting, people are losing sight of what's real and what isn't real. And so as they unveiled this reconstruction of the Syrians' iconic, some of them call it the Triumphal Arch. When you, who is this here? So according to Engel, Eliot Engel from New York, when you look at this beautiful arch, quote, we are seeing through the eyes of ancient civilization, and to have it right here set against the classical columns of the Capitol, it's really extraordinary. It's not extraordinary. It's not at all. It's very demonic. And the powers it's possessed is demonic. And it really needs to go away, really. You know, it needs to definitely, we need to understand what's really, really going on here. And, but I see I only have Tiny here right now. But anyway, so thank you guys. Hopefully you can watch this later, and you know, again, like and subscribe. I'm gonna bail right now, but again, I really appreciate all this, and I am glad and excited I got this up and running, so I can give you the little pictures and give you the articles, and so that you can see it up front. And I figured out how I can talk to you guys as well. So this is all good. We're all good. And thank you again. Thank you for listening, and have a good night.